feel like I'm dreaming, man, should have seen that look on my face. But I'm so low-key, I'm an anonymous G that I left no trace. But when I step 1 foot in the room, I'ma set this pace. I feel like king of the hill when they're never gonna take my crown.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, and we are back. Last Week in Wrestling podcast. The podcasts are back, baby. And I'm so happy to be back because, of course, this is your home for getting all of the amazing news, all the drama, all the spilt tea or milk, or the Austin IPAs over here for at least this week. Because today and all this time going forward until WrestleMania season is over, we are on the road to Philly. You see the kind of in the background, Philly's beautiful landscape, and of course, the WrestleMania symbol, and of course, that beautiful Last Week of Wrestling podcast logo, of course, made by none other than ABJ himself. Again, shout out to ABJ for that. But Leo, my guy, we have a lot to talk about, but let's get off with something fun before we kind of get into the actual nitty gritty part of the show. You got to hang out at last night's Monday Night Raw. You were there live in person to watch your ex-wife wrestle. How did it feel to see her back in the ring? Did you make any type of content? Did you feel weird, of course, seeing her? Or what did you have? What kind of exciting experience did you have?
I think all around it was just a great experience. Just getting to see was good to see. Even though the ending kind of came off a little bit of anticlimactic in a sense, because it's like the whole roll up and then Chad Gable still had his shoulders up on the mat, so he technically did get pinned. I'm wondering if they're gonna acknowledge that at all. We got the confirmation with Jay challenging his brother. Kind of just like you, I kind of feel like the buildup hasn't been the best. I would have maybe it's probably me going into it expecting more out of the feud, considering how personal it's been with Jimmy costing him 3 championship opportunities. I'm looking forward to see where the progression for Becky versus Rhea goes. I know Liv did face her last night. And she did lose. She did lose. I kind of went into it. I was kind of 50-50, can go either way, but I was thinking only because of the story that they have with them going back to 2022. Liv has never really gotten a win over Becky in her career, so it's always kind of came off as like that thorn on her side. So I was thinking maybe they kind of pull off a win, but they didn't. There's still opportunities for a lot of people, that the tag title match is being set up with the ladder match. A lot of interesting moving components as we head into Mania for sure.
Absolutely. Last night we did, of course, have our Monday Night Raw watch along, and of course we shouted you out in it and watched you watch the Liv Morgan and Becky match that happened, and of course Gable not successfully getting
Yeah,
his WrestleMania 40 opportunity. He is not, as of now,
yeah,
going to WrestleMania 40, which is sad. I definitely had Gable
yeah,
going there. I thought that was going to be the time that he could dethrone Gunther and have an intercontinental run
yeah,
for his time as the leader of the Alpha Academy. But there's a lot of things, even when Alpha Academy, that were happening last night with, of course, Candice LeRae and Maxine Dupree.
oh
Candice
boy,
LeRae having her heel turn, in a sense,
yeah,
being the
she
bad guy, in a sense, with, of
she
course,
dialed it up.
attacking Maxine Dupree and saying just a lot of harsh and really nasty
Woo.
things to her. It was just a
Yeah,
very interesting road, but of course, that kind of all culminates to where we're at today, which is the starting point of the road to WrestleMania. And I'm going to pull up, of course, all the confirmed matches in just a little bit, but we have, of course, all of the big titles on the line: Intercontinental, the
hmm,
Universal, the World Heavyweight, the Women's Heavyweight on Raw from Rhea Ripley, Io Sky's Women's Championship over on SmackDown. We have, of course, now the 6-pack tag team
yeah,
ladder match that was announced by none other than
hmm,
Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce last night. As for now, that are the only belts that are on the line.
Yeah.
those 6. There is no women's tag title for the time being. There are no other just single matches that are set for WrestleMania
Right.
40. Of course, there's a lot of hints at Logan Paul and Randy. There's even hints of maybe the what you call it, the Kabuki Warriors facing someone maybe like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, and so much more. But of course, we're
Yeah.
going to get into all of that stuff today. But let's start off with, of course, the one and only Drew McIntyre, as we know, got his Elimination Chamber win to be the number one contender to face none other than Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 44, that beautiful World Heavyweight Championship. So
Yeah.
that means now, if Drew does win, not only will he have got his WrestleMania moment, unfortunately, not like CM Punk, and become the brand new World Heavyweight Champion, not like CM Punk, which is sad because I know that Punk has had this desire to main event WrestleMania. He's been at a few. He's, of course, won money in the bank at a few. And he's just been that guy that has unfortunately come up short. But the question I'm going to ask you is, he is supposed to be back in Chicago on the week of WrestleMania.
Right.
Is it possible? Is it possible that we could see some way, somehow, a triple threat happening between Drew, Seth, and CM Punk for this World Heavyweight Championship match for WrestleMania 40? I don't know if he's cleared by then. I know that he'll be at the show in Chicago since they'll be in Chicago, which is the last Raw, because of course that weekend is none other than WrestleMania weekend. But do we think that that could be our ace in the hole, we could say, of having Punk be a third member of this match? I see Steven in the chat saying what's going on. Thank you, Steven, for coming by and hanging out with us. Chris is also saying what's going on. He's saying no for Punk and Punk at SummerSlam, which is going to be in Cleveland as of announced today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's a little bit more probable due to the injury than seeing him at WrestleMania? Or do you think, as we try to fantasy book here for a moment, that he could possibly be that third guy for WrestleMania 40?
Um, I don't think so. I would love for it to happen, but I really think that the whole story they've been building up and the way it seems like what's gonna happen is they're gonna have this one-on-one match. And if you go back to what happened on Raw last night, they were throwing shots at both each other, like with Drew and Seth, because Seth, told Drew, "You're the least of my worries." He pretty much gave him no acknowledgement. He disrespected this man on many levels, and Drew called this man a junkie, and he's a heel. We know he's a heel, but I feel like he wants that validation to win that world championship. He doesn't want his win to feel like it's tainted because there's a black mark on his title win because maybe Seth Rollins wasn't 100% or something with the bloodline. He doesn't want any excuses when he does take that title. So I think you do have Drew get his crowning moment because if you think about it, Seth Rollins already has Drew's number in the past two matches, 2-0 on Drew McIntyre. So this is an end all be all type of situation. It's all or nothing for Drew right now. He needs to win this match. I think he will get this match, and I think you can continue to build his character now that he is world champion post Mania. And I really think with the story that they've been telling, I think what the WWE's doing is they're doing the long-term storytelling to an extent because where does it seem like, you know, Punk is at his best? He seems like in the summer. We had the summer of Punk back in 2011. He won at Money in the Bank, and then he was champion going into the summer. You could have Drew win that title at Mania, go into the summer, and then maybe at some point, I would say maybe Money in the Bank, you have Punk return, and you set things up between Drew and Punk going into SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that is the end goal for both of these guys in a long term. And I still think if you want to circle back to, doing Seth versus Punk, you can, but now it'll be the roles will be different because now Punk is the champion and now, Rollins is the one chasing down Punk to get that title back.
True. I do agree with that. And I also agree with the point that Steven is saying, and of course Chris is saying, because we're going to get to that Bailey moment in just a little bit. But Punk, if 100% healthy, I could really see Punk getting to Money in the Bank briefcase in Toronto. I think that's where we see the new cash in opportunity for him. Maybe Priest cashing it in, depending on his status with the ladder match. Also, Steven is
Right.
saying with that 6-pack tag team ladder match that is supposed to take place, of course, either on night 1 or night 2. They haven't really figured all of that out. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
speculation and a lot of rumors on how they're going to be booking all of these matches right now. We have at about 6-7 matches confirmed for now. Of course, those being all the big titles and the Roman, Cody, Rock, Rollins tag team match as well. So we definitely have a good amount of matches to just get off for night 1 and night 2 to give us a nice starting base. But
Mm-hmm.
with Punk, of course, being in Chicago right before WrestleMania season, I don't know. It could be interesting. I don't know
It could
if
be.
it makes sense, especially if Seth is going to be losing, let's say, at WrestleMania 40 to Drew McIntyre. I feel like the story is more Drew and Punk at the moment, not so much Punk and Seth, due to the fact that, Punk has injured his tricep and is not able to perform in any wrestling stature as of
Right.
right now. But I do think that maybe if given the opportunity to win Money in the Bank, he could be that new casher for an opportunity down the road. Maybe something at Survivor Series. We also have none other than the France show in
Yeah.
August as well, Bash at Berlin, I should say. In May, and there's a lot. There's a lot of other pay-per-views and a lot of other big moments that he could definitely take it upon himself to have,
Yeah.
his
I
his
mean,
bell rung for WrestleMania maybe come next year. He could also wait and just get his cash in moment at WrestleMania 41.
honestly, I know this has been an idea that's been thrown around. I don't know about Money in the Bank for him, only because he's done that before. I really feel like this is a be an opportunity to give someone else the opportunity to kind of elevate themselves up the card. Honestly, I seen people were kind of making that caveat last night with Chad Gable. I think you could build that story post Mania. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in that Money in the Bank ladder match. Just imagine what Chad Gable can do if he's walking around with that briefcase, or maybe a Jay Uso, because they want to build him up. There's 2 stars right there that they might want to
Yep.
build up. And if it's in Canada, don't rule out Sami Zayn. If Sami Zayn loses at Mania, I would not be surprised if any one of those 3 guys walk out with that briefcase at Money in the Bank and have the opportunity to cash in for the world title.
I hope it's Gable at that point. I feel like
Yeah,
after last night, again, time and time and time again,
he even said it.
Chad has just been such an absolute warrior in the ring,
Hmm.
an absolute, um, truly talented, gifted, natural athlete that needs to have his opportunity one more time for that intercontinental belt,
Yeah,
because I could see him with it. I really could. I think that's the belt to really project him into that singles division run, into that possibility of becoming world heavyweight champion down the road, as well as universal champion as well, if they were to break up Alpha Academy and have Gable go on a real singles division run with no Otis and no Maxine Dupree down the road. I think that
yeah,
Gable has proven time and time again that he is a leader. He is someone that you can give the ball to and run with it. The fans are behind him. The fans are behind Alpha Academy and Maxine.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just missing an opportunity here, but we're gonna get into that in a little bit later. They're trying to, like Steven is saying right here, they're trying to build Sammy after the
That
Bloodline
definitely.
feud, which is true. And I feel
It's
like they've been
true,
doing
but
that since the tag team match and that tag team opportunity in a sense. But I don't know. At
yeah,
this
it's
stage of the
kind of
game, Sammy is just
on his own
Sa-
right now. I mean,
yeah, Sammy's on his own. He's been doing his own thing, and I've been happy. I've been happy with Sammy.
yeah,
Hell,
it's
dude,
not.
last night he put on a clinic. Like, as
He
much as
beat
we like
three
to love to,
guys
yeah, he
to do
beat
it.
Bronson Reed, Shinsuke
Shinsuke
Nakamura,
and
and
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
But what really, what sucked the most is that
Yeah.
post-match interview that he had after Raw, and he said it seems like that's just a recurring theme in his career where he's right there, but just not over the hump to get it. And that sucks
Yep.
because that's been like a recurring theme. Like he becomes so close to these big moments, but never is able given the green light to capitalize on it. And it's like when you think about it as a fan, you wonder if WWE really sees any faith in him to be a potential intercontinental champion. Because I think one thing that needs to change is I don't know how you feel about it, Dylan. I'm not a fan feel about it. I really think he might need to separate himself from the Alpha Academy because as much as they're over as they are, they're a comedy act when you think about it. And think if you want to take him serious as a champion, and we look at the track record of people who've been champion, but in these like comedy act type of tag teams or even by themselves, it really never plans out too well in the longevity of things. And if you want to have longevity with him, you kind of need to separate him so you can have a situation where the draft happens and he or even he could just go up to Otis and says, Otis, I need you to take over Alpha Academy because I need to step away and do my own thing to get to where I want to be.
I'll say this. I'll say this, and then we'll save this topic for a little bit later on because I definitely want to get more into this with Sammy and Gable and Alpha Academy. Um, yeah, I definitely think that Alpha Academy has been booked as a comedy act. But I would say that that has changed due to the fact that now Maxine's wrestling. Um, Chad has been really a leader in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Otis has been wrestling
There, he
there.
doesn't wrestle too much, but
Akira Tozawa's there.
he's just a mascot at this point. I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
guys. I
Like,
sorry.
no, he is. He is. I agree. And it's funny because Akira Tozawa in New Japan is totally different.
Even 205 Live, Akira Tozawa
Yeah, like
was
a
interesting.
totally different athlete compared to what he is being booked now. So it's
Last
like
time he had a
it's really
match,
funny.
too.
It's a funny night and day, honestly,
Yeah,
on how they're like,
yeah,
okay, so instead of using your ability to wrestle and be like, just let's uh let's not have you wrestle like an all-star that we know you can wrestle. Uh let's book you as a joke for a little bit. And it's
yeah.
like,
Doing this
I don't
dance
know
and
about
like,
all
what are
that.
you
And what's
doing?
going on, ABJ? How are you, buddy? Ninja Boy, what's going on? Yeah, listen, I think with Alpha Academy, maybe separating Gable is something that is in the works for something down
Mm-hmm.
the road. And maybe Otis is that new leader. Akira Tozawa is the new leader. They could really spin it and give us Maxine Dupree is the new leader of Alpha Academy. And I'm just like, any of that could work, especially if you want to keep Alpha Academy as that fun, gimmicky, light-hearted comedy tag
Right.
team, because all three of those characters are being booked as those type of characters. So to me, it's an easy win. Um,
Yeah.
I will say this, and then we're gonna go on to Bailey because I really want to talk about Bailey because there's been a lot
Okay.
going on with Bailey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Gable, 100%. Even if he is a comedy act to some, Kurt Angle, as he's been compared to a lot, was
Mm-hmm.
also, in many times or another, a comedy
Comedy.
act and really won over well with the crowd as a comedy act and as champion. He was an
Yeah.
undisputed champion and
world
a
champion.
intercontinental champion.
He did a lot, and like you said, that is a
Yeah,
great
and I believe
comparison.
he was also tag team champion at one point too. So it's
European
like
as well.
European, like he was 4 titles that meant something to the
Yeah,
WWE,
you got a point
and
there. I mean,
he was dressing up with the cowboy hat, making the Undertaker break character.
the
He was
Brock
doing
Lesnar
"I'm
made
sexy
character.
Kurt." Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a man and you're a boy, and I love to play with little boys bit
bro,
with Rey
that promo
Mysterio.
I
Like,
had to tell
yeah, no, wait. Like that, it's just like
Whoa.
those things alone was just like it just made Kurt more and more lovable. And it's true, it's damn true. The whole gimmick, the
You
hairstyle
got
that
a
he had
point.
at the time before shaving it bald, like it was just great. It was, and he was a true Olympic athlete, so it
Yeah,
was a beautiful ribbon to tie it all together. But we're gonna talk a little bit more about Sammy and all of them a little bit later on in the show. Let's get to, of course, one of the many women's matches that are happening right
right.
now, because there's
Mhm.
2 as of right now. Hopefully, we get a third with that women's title, tag team title. Um, I'll say this: I think Bailey has a long journey ahead of her. And Steven, I believe it was Steven that said that the road to
Yeah, goes through
um,
damage control, yeah.
yeah, through damage
Yeah.
control is going to be through Dakota, because that I felt hurt the most for Bailey. Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I didn't watch the full episode. I did watch the moment where Dakota backstabbed, of course, Bailey, as we all know now.
Yeah.
And, between the Kabuki Warriors and damage control, or the quote unquote new damage control that there is without Bailey, does make a statement. Now, I don't know if the Kabuki Warriors, as of right now, with this whole women's tag team division that's happening, is there a place for them right now, since that tag team division isn't as strong as maybe say the men's tag team division, due to the fact there's not that many women's tag team opponents that they have to roll through? You have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. You have, of course, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. You have
Caden.
Caden
Yeah, Caden
Cross,
yeah.
Caden
Caden and
Carter, and
Katana,
and
yeah.
and Katana Chance. You have the Kabuki Warriors, and then I think there's one more, and I feel like I'm
Maxine,
missing
I
it.
think it's Maxine,
Maxine
Ivy,
and Ivy Nile.
um, and I think Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Isla
There
Dawn, so that's 2
is
more.
Naomi. There's Natalia and Tegan,
Tegan Knox. I mean, there is
and
stuff to run through,
they have a little bit there, I would say. Um,
but a lot
I
of them are
feel
not
like
actual tag teams. Like
yeah,
Natalia and Tegan Knox is not truly a tag team. Elba Fire and Isla Dawn
they
is.
are legit.
Katana Chance is a tag team with her partner, Kaden Carter. Kabuki Warriors is one. I would say, I honestly, like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark isn't one. They're pushing them as one, but they're not one. They're in that like mismatch category. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell
Yeah, they got there.
is
There's
one
there.
in a sense,
No,
but
they actually are because they go back to NXT.
okay, so
So
they're an official tag team.
yeah,
Um, there's a slim picking in a sense.
yeah.
So with the Kabuki Warriors being there, the tag team of WWE,
Hmm.
do you think that something of a 6-pack ladder match style that we're getting for the men's in that aspect would work for something of the Kabuki Warriors titles? Or do we just have more or less a tournament where we could just get maybe a fatal 4-way tag team elimination setting where there's 4, including the tag team champs, so 3 other tag teams aligned to try to take down, the Kabuki Warriors itself? That kind of gives Bailey a little bit of a sigh of relief, so not so much that she has to worry about on the night that she has to wrestle Io Sky, and then of course the other one being Dakota Kai that she has to
Hmm.
worry about as well. But is there an opportunity there, is what I'm asking? Is there an opportunity to have something like that there? Is there an opportunity to have something of a women's tag title match on WrestleMania 40? And what kind of stipulation do you see it becoming going into, of course, WrestleMania?
Honestly, I would like the idea of them doing a six-pack ladder match just like they're doing for the men. I feel like this would one thing I would say Triple H has done more of, and I think this is a benefit of having 2 nights of Mania. It allows more people to kinda be on the card, but it not seem like it's all crammed up in at one time. It gives, like, a little bit of fresh air to breathe on both through both nights. Um, Honestly, when you look at Bailey, right? Now, this is you have to be honest with this one because whoever I feel like is going to go up against the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles or ultimately get the tag titles is ultimately also going to be on the side of Bailey at the same time. Now, what we've seen on SmackDown, we've seen, Bianca. Bianca. She might want to go up against the Kabuki Warriors. They have a little bit of been teasing that a little bit, and then on SmackDown you had Naomi. So there's that possibility of not Jay Carpet, but Bianca and Naomi deciding to team up to go after the tag titles, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But you can also throw Jade Cargill's name in there. You can have
That's what Henry
Bianca
was just saying in the chat,
Bianca,
Bianca
I
and
really
Jade.
think Bianca and Jade team up and have them go against the tag team champions, whether if it's a ladder match or a straight up one on one. I really feel like it's going to be. I would like it to be a multi woman, so you can have more women get on the card and get that exposure. Um, and be able to kind of do their thing. So I will say that. But Bailey, she's backed into a corner. And one thing we know about
Yeah.
Bailey, when she's backed into a corner, that's sometimes when she is at her best and she pulls out some things that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
I know her best friend is in a different heading to a different company, but if she wasn't, this would be the prime opportunity to bring her someone like that in because she would definitely be on her side
Yeah.
instantly because of their
Sorry.
history.
He's a part of big business tomorrow. I tell you
Yeah,
that now,
so
buddy.
yeah, that's what I'm
He's a
saying.
part of big business.
That's what I'm saying. But um,
I definitely agree with you with that. Bailey now is truly backed into a corner. I see a lot of awesome guests here in the chat saying, there's a possibility that Dakota Henry's saying could be playing damage control and slide with Bailey at Mania to actually help her take down Io Sky. And maybe this is all just a ploy, something of a,
we don't know.
hey, listen, I'm going to turn on you because that's what everyone's been expecting. That's what everybody has been hoping would happen. So let's make it happen. But in a real and actuality, when I come out with damage control, it's not happening. I'm going to be
Yeah,
with you. You've helped me so much. You were my ride or die when I came from NXT over here. Like you made it happen for me. So now it's time for me to pay back. One of the biggest ways to pay you back is helping you defeat
that
the
would be
people that have
interesting.
truly turned on you.
That would be interesting. And I know they're facing on SmackDown at the time of us doing this.
Dakota and
And here's
Bailey.
another
Yep.
thing. Here's another thing. I like that. This is like a little flashback, I would say, or a little callback, I would say. This is pretty much Randy Orton versus Batista 2.0, but if they were women.
Yeah.
Dakota is pretty
Yeah.
much the
You called
women's
that.
version of Randy Orton. She just turns on people every twist and turn. She's a snake in the grass, and you have Bailey being that Batista like character. People love her. If she's a heel, people give her energy. She is definitely one of the very best. I really think this is the women's version of Batista versus Randy, and honestly, I would not rule out that them like Dakota, like you said, joining back up with Bailey. It's really how they go about doing it. If it's booked wrong, then it's gonna come off as weird, and it's like,
Right.
why would
Right.
you do that to begin with? Honestly, me personally, I was thinking, you know, Dakota was gonna stay on the side of Bailey heading into Mania, and that Mania itself, she would have turned and then probably end up causing a match. And then going into the summer or later spring, that would have been the feud that you could have been telling like her going up against every member of the Damage Control to get back to the title, which would have been a great underdog story that they could tell with her. But now they have to figure out how she is going to be. Her whole story right now is pretty much, can she overcome the odds stacked against her? Because she is going up against some great odds right now. She's going up against the champion in Io. She's going up against Asuka. She's going up against Dakota, and she's going up against Kyrie. 4 women she's gonna have to go up against.
Yeah, it's a
She's gonna
lot.
have to be. She's already have to focus on the champion herself. But then
Yeah.
you have the other 3 women on the outside that are going to be paying dividend at any given moment to ensure that Io does retain that title. So this whole there's about 3 weeks, technically a little bit around 3 weeks before Mania. So in these 3 weeks, they need to be telling that story. If she is going to actually be able to find help, or anybody is willing to align themselves with Bayley or
Well,
forgive Bayley after all she has caused them over the last couple of years.
well, one of course being Mercedes Moné, aka
She
Sasha
and
Banks.
she
Was
can't
she
do
in
it, but
AEW, baby? She's over
but
here. She's
yeah,
over there. AEW. She's going over there.
no,
Honestly, though,
Steven, no.
in all honesty, I think that what Bailey has set up for herself, in a sense, is a redemption story. Like you said, this is that Batista moment that realized evolution turned on him. Ric Flair's not his friend. Papa H is not his friend. Randy's an enemy, but yet they've all been together. They've been through wars together. They've all won gold together. They've all done these things together. They've helped each other out. They've traveled together. But the moment that they realized, Batista realized, these people aren't my friends, and that DTA don't trust anybody attitude, like Steven's saying, comes into play. And that Batista moment where, we all remember it very, very well. It's Papa H, it's the Nate, and of course they're in the ring, they're all dressed up in their Versace suits and all that great stuff. Batista's about to sign the contract. He gives him the thumbs up, gives him the thumbs down, puts Triple H to that table, and it is like, I'm fucking coming for you, buddy.
Yep.
And guess
Yep.
what? It's my turn. And I think that's where we're at right now with Bayley. And I hope so. I hope this doesn't turn into the redemption of a hugger Bayley again or anything like that. I want to just see Bayley be Bayley. I want
Just do
what
what
we
she's doing
see.
now.
Yeah,
I don't mind
go ahead.
her being this role model gimmick, but just have it be more of a face type of gimmick
Yeah,
where look at LA Knight. I mean, even though he's a face, you don't see him doing the type of bubbly type of stuff. He just being him. Let
yeah.
Bayley just be Bayley.
Walked out in
People
the
love
middle of the
Bayley
Tribal Chief
regardless.
intro. He walked out. He walked out during the Roman Reigns' fucking intro. I'll never forget
That
that.
still
That
gives me
was great.
goosebumps. That was funny
That was great. He was
because
like,
nobody else
"What
had
the
the
hell's
gong to
going
do
on?"
that. Nobody
Yeah,
else
no
has
one.
had the
And he
gong to
walked
do
right
that.
past him too. Walked right past him.
He didn't even
Like
bat an eye at him either.
unbelievable. Yeah, he
But
he truly
no
was.
hugger, no hugger, no.
Yeah,
Somebody even
no, I
pointed
agree.
out this. Somebody said this, but I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. Somebody said the little fangirl of Bailey back from NXT, Izzy. I know she's training to be
And
a
she is a
wrestler.
wrestler. She is a wrestler. She
I
is
mean, if
wrestling.
they wanted to
I
bring
mean,
her
that's a
in,
crazy
that'd be
throwback, but
cool.
hey, man, it could work. It could work. It's like
Her
the girl
biggest
that was
fan
very
coming
upset
out to
with The
help her.
Miz. Yeah, it's like the girl that was very upset with The Miz when The Miz won.
Oh
You
Lord.
know, like that girl was pissed. But now
Oh yeah, she
she's grown
was.
up and she hates him still. But guess what? Like, it's all love. It's all love. But listen, like
Exactly.
Steven's saying, I think it's time for Stone Cold Steve Austin type of DTA right now for Bayley. That's the mode. That's the gimmick. That's the idea that she should be having going
That's
into
kinda how she
WrestleMania
was.
40 right now.
That's
You
kinda how
know,
she was for a point.
yeah, like this is that time for her to switch it on and go, okay, let us not only make sure that we never get hurt again, but now let's make sure that when we strike, we're going to strike hard and we're going to take everything away from everything that I gave these women. And I want them to remember my name, honestly.
Mhm.
Like it's truly going to be that Fort Minor type of moment. and I'm excited for it. I really am. I
Mhm.
hope Bailey wins. I really,
I
really
really
do.
do.
I think it's her time. I know that Rhea Ripley will be another topic that we'll get into. We'll probably get into night 2 stuff, maybe a different day this week. I kind of want to hope to kind of cover some of the night 1 stuff that I think could be night 1. I think this Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins is night 1. I think Bailey and Io is night 1. I think this 6-pack man tag match of God knows what ladders, is going to be night 1 as well. And of course, the big one being Roman, Rock, Seth, um, Cody tag match, which I'll be honest, I don't care for. Like this whole adding the Rock into the mixture. Yes, he's a part of the bloodline. Yes, he has that family lineage as well. Yes, I get all of that, but like I feel like it doesn't do any story progression for the Cody Roman story that's trying to be told,
Right.
that's trying to be finished. Like this is just a little speed bump. This is like a Brock Lesnar speed bump again, where it's just like
Yeah.
what's the real point of this here? Cody got smacked by the Rock, so then Cody smacked the shit out of the Rock. It's like, okay, cool. These
Yeah,
grown men are
it's
just
kind
smacking each
of
other for no
just
reason.
I mean, I'll put it like this. I'm the same way as you. I kind of have the same, thoughts and opinions as well.
Yeah.
However, I will say what I think is going to happen and what I think they're trying to do is cause this will be a way of adding more adversity that, you know, Cody's going to have to really go through. Because the way I see it playing out is like C. Henry said, I think Roman and Rock are going to win on night 1. I really do. I think The Rock is going to be the one to pin Cody. And the reason why, I feel like here's the thing. Even though we've been seeing how things been playing up on television, Rock, Roman, it seems like they're solid, right? But what did Roman say a couple of weeks ago? He wanted The Rock to acknowledge him. He wanted The Rock to feed into his ego. He wanted to he wants that validation. And I know what you're kind of getting at, but here's what I think. I think it's going to be a situation where I think Drew might get involved on night 1 because all this stuff that's been going on with him and Seth is going to play a factor. I don't think it's going to be a clean win by any means. You already know the bloodline's going to be out there, and I feel like what's going to happen is it's going to be a situation where Roman spears Cody, or Superman punches him and then spears him, and Rock tags himself in and hits the rock bottom and people's elbow, or a combination of both to get the win. But it causes a little bit of dissension because the one thing with Roman, he doesn't like sharing the spotlight with anybody. He wants the glory to himself. He wants the adulation for himself. He wants the attention to be solely on him. And I feel like what you're going to be doing is kind of, to an extent, causing a little bit of friction between the two going into Mania, because now Roman, he's not going to be so happy that Rock took that opportunity for Roman to pin Cody again so he can brag about that going into WrestleMania Night 2. But now Cody is going to be up against all the odds, because remember what happened on night 2 last year. What the closing segment was him in the ring and distraught, right? I think that's how they closed night 1 with the bloodline celebrating, Cody distraught, trying to put the pieces together, what's happening and what he's going to have to endure going into night 2, as he has to go up against Roman for the championship. But now he also has to worry about Solo being in the mix, Rock being in the mix, Jimmy being in the mix, numerous other bloodline members possibly coming in to want to be part of the mix. You got Paul Heyman or Wally the Walrus on the outside causing havoc, trying to distract the referee at every given turn. Anything and everything to keep them from winning the championship. But what it also does, bloodline rules. Because what was the caveat? What was one of the things that was said? No DQ. This could be a way for weapons to be involved, where Cody can use some of the weapons, Roman could use some of the weapons. It could be a way to get the title off of Roman without him technically getting pinned clean, because you have that no DQ aspect of things also as well. Steven, you said Tamatanga. He's one of the people that I'm saying that could be, if he's going up against the bloodline, he might be one of the people coming down there. I think long-term storytelling, I think they're gonna have Rock be the heel and Roman be the face, and have that be the story going out through the rest of this year, leading into WrestleMania next year. So if they're gonna lead to that, I do think this would be the way to start the kickoff, because if you really think about it, it's like it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it, but I really think that's what they're probably gonna go with. Anthony, I see your comment. Let me fix that.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna have to get you connected with Anthony to teach you how to use that camera for sure. So that way the autofocus could stop happening for you. But listen,
yeah,
to your point though, in all honesty, I think that it still doesn't do much for the story. Like, if the Rock and Roman win night one and Cody has that moment, like you're saying again, sitting in the middle of the ring, distraught, disheveled, going, "Oh my God, my life's decisions have turned on me, and now I'm a Cody crybaby for life. There is no chance for me to possibly now defeat and dethrone Roman Reigns. Like, how is this actually going to come about?" It's like, but for what's the point? So then the
he has
next
to win
night,
though.
possibly The Rock turns on Roman. Like, why wouldn't he just do it now? Why wouldn't The Rock just add to the story by saying he's a part of the bloodline, but making sure that Cody wins, making sure that Cody does pick up the victory, not only in night one, but in night two as well. And that there's a whole lot more for Cody in his story going forward, instead of playing this whole like, we're the ones, we're this, we're that, we're that. He's
Yeah,
throwing up this L sign. He's not throwing up the one sign. He's
I'm.
throwing up the L sign. Is that our hint? Is that the hint that we're trying to feed into of like, is he about to turn on Roman
That's a
prior?
possibility.
Right.
That's a
And like,
possibility, because I
go
feel
ahead.
like I think it's a situation Cody has to win, because it's like if you don't have him win, then what was the point of trying have him go back to back in these rumbles to lose? What was the point
Right.
of this whole 2 year story? Because think about it. Since he's came back, right? His two losses that he has had have not been clean. Both of his losses have came at the expense of bloodline interference.
Now Steven goes, if Cody loses at Mania, I'm done with WWE.
Oh,
Steven,
people in the crowd.
Steven, I tell you this now, and I listen, I stand true to this statement to the day I die, and it is truly this. Cody loses, not only night one and night two, the internet's gonna go on fire. But I am getting the Cody smacking the shit, the Rock smacking the shit out of Cody shirt, and every time I do a watch along for Raw or for SmackDown, I'm wearing that shirt and I'm chanting out, "Fuck you, Cody Crybabies." Like, honestly,
Dude, I'm
like,
already
I
getting that
want
shirt
to be a
already.
part of that internet being on fire
I'm
type of
already getting that
situation.
shirt already. It's not even funny. Like,
I'm so excited for it, guys. Like, it's truly that whole, like, if it happens again, if Cody gets screwed again, dude,
bro, you knew people were.
the internet's done.
Oh, people
Twitter's
in
done.
when I was at Raw last night, and I already said that if Cody if they already said if Cody don't win, they're gonna stop watching WWE. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done. It's
Happy
game over.
Tuesday, Tim. And what's going
People,
on
you
over the
gotta
top
understand that
talk?
though.
And Wolf,
Like,
I see Eric and everybody. Thank you guys
it
so
would be
much for coming
wild.
by.
It would be
Dude,
wild because the
listen.
the internet ripped it
I tell
last
you this
year.
now. It would be.
What would be the point?
I
What would be a benefit of keeping
don't
the
even know what
title
to
on
say.
Roman though?
I don't even know what to say because, in all honesty, like, I know God.
Exactly. Well, if there's no reason for Cody to
What
lose, if Roman loses, I don't see a
if
benefit in
Cody
him
loses at
retaining.
WrestleMania 40? Like I say about Eddie Kingston losing any type of match, we riot. If Cody Rhodes loses at WrestleMania 40, we riot. All right, like seriously, like what? How much? What does Papa H
Nah,
really hate him? Like she's just like,
he ain't.
listen, we're just gonna keep fucking him
He
and
not
fucking.
too cool. He's not cool
Yeah, like he's just not a
with
fan
Cody
of
going to
Cody.
AEW and smashing his throne. He a little
Yeah.
salty about that. And then on
Well, you know
top of
what's
that,
funny? They brought that up.
they
I read
did.
it somewhere like a couple
He
of months
did,
ago,
but
maybe sometime last year. Triple
Triple
H
H
said
didn't
I
care.
laughed. He goes, I laughed. I thought it was great.
And then
I
on
thought it was
top of
so
that,
funny.
if
It,
if Cody loses, then Cody should have picked a little bit wiser and just went after Seth Rollins for that world title because he would
dude,
have
he
had a
should
better
have picked.
chance of winning.
He could have picked Seth,
He could have
or
picked Gunther.
he could have picked Gunther, or he could
He
have
could
just
have
stayed
picked.
at
He
AEW.
No, he could have just go over to SmackDown and just challenge Logan Paul.
He could have been on the board of Prime. He would have had a
Oh
better
Lord,
time
have
being on the
mercy.
board of Prime.
Hey, nah, you know what he should have did? Go down to NXT and then go face Ilya Dragunov. Go win
Yeah,
the NXT
yeah,
championship. Go win the brand that your father built.
yeah. Really. There's your dream. There's your story. There's your
There's your
finishing the
story.
story.
There were
No,
you go to
yeah.
go
Cody,
down to the white
Cody
gold.
goes. Steven goes. Cody will be calling TK begging to come back. I'd die.
Hey,
I would die.
what if there's an actual phone call he does and Tony Khan says, nah, I got so much talent
No,
over
we're
here.
good over here. Actually,
We're
thank you,
good
though.
over here right now.
Appreciate it.
I got Okada over here. I got Moxley over here. I got Omega over here. I got Will Ospreay. I got all these great wrestlers. Why would I want you back?
Wolf says
I
just
have nothing
retire
for
the
you to hear.
belt. If Cody
They have,
loses, just retire the belt.
hey,
I'm dead.
bro,
I'm
what
dead.
if,
I'm dead.
dude? Some people even said like if he loses, people are already saying if he loses, he's winning Money in the Bank. I don't want that. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't.
listen.
Don't
If
do
Cody
that.
loses WrestleMania 40, he's not allowed another title
Even
opportunity
if he wins Money in the Bank.
for the rest of the year.
No, they
For the
even said
rest
if
of the year.
he even said if he loses, and Rock even said it clear as day, you don't get another shot at this. So even if he did win the Money in the Bank, that contract is not valid for that title as long as Roman's champion. Simple,
Yeah,
point blank,
I'm
period.
done. But I'll tell you this now. Like my thing is, look, I think that with this whole Cody and Rock and Seth and I don't know, Bloodline and Tamatanga, God knows who else is coming. Um, Cody says we're in the final stages. We're in the ninth inning. Thank God. I really hope so.
Please.
I really hope
If he would have said the
that.
fourth or fifth inning, I'm gonna look at you. I wanted to
Yeah,
go through.
I would have been like, this is never gonna end. This
I
baseball
would have
game's never
walked
gonna
down
end.
Shield style and smacked him myself.
Yeah. Like I truly would just be shocked. But he says it's the ninth inning. I'm assuming this is the cleanup time. This is time to clean house. This is time for Roman to go home for a bit, make sure he's healthy and safe, and can come back when he can, when he knows he's in that healthy shape to come and do some time back in the WWE, maybe make another run for gold, maybe just do some other work, maybe enhance some talent, whatever, just being around. Cause I know, he's battling a very severe illness that does take him away from
Yeah.
the spotlight and everything. And I wish Joe nothing but blessings and many well wishes to his health and to his family. But as I call him Rachel Reigns and the tribal queef and everything, I joke, I kid, I do love the man as a human being, but as his character, not so much. Joe's great, but Roman's not. But yeah, I think we're at the part now where it needs to end. This is, like Tim is saying, it feels like old bread, stale old bread. I hope we break it and we finally can just move on from it and can go on. I just think that The Rock currently, where the story's heading, is just adding more innings to this whole baseball game that doesn't need it. He's dragging it on longer that doesn't need it. Yeah, maybe the Bloodline story has kind of derailed since Jay.
Course,
yeah, since Jay lost to Roman at SummerSlam, since Jay went over to Raw and became title champion holders with Cody and became Cody's best friend, Roman's enemy. Of course, Jimmy and Jay now feuding at WrestleMania 40. Like, all of that does keep that bloodline story in a sense going. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know where
I
to
don't.
really put
Yeah,
it. I don't know where to really say like what The Rock and the story of The Rock's enhancing
I
is
think it.
doing is really keeping the story running longer and longer. And thank you,
Yeah,
Anthony, for coming by. I appreciate it. I'm going to check you guys out in a little bit as well. But yeah,
honestly,
it's just
I
like
I know
where are
this
we
is.
at? Where are we at?
I know people have been kind of throwing this idea that they're gonna do a long-term storytelling. I feel like what's gonna happen, because I think people have kind of already said this. I think post Mania, the story is going to be Rock kind of turning everybody against Roman. I think that's a
But
story,
I feel like
but
Roman's already done that by
no, no,
himself.
no, no, no. I think because people have already said they're going to be having a match at WrestleMania 41. They're going to do a long-term storytelling. I already feel that now. What I think is going to happen, because I know they've been saying this for years, right? They want
Forever champion.
the ultimate end goal is for Roman Reigns to be a babyface again, but keep the same gimmick that he is. Keep the same tribal chief gimmick, but being a face.
Ow!
That's my thing. But
How are you
people,
going to make him the tribal chief as a baby face?
I mean, I don't know. I want to see. I would be interested to see how they
He
can
beat the
pull it
whole
off.
locker room.
But I want to see what they
He
could
beat
try to do.
wait. Don't skip over that. He beat the whole locker room.
Yeah.
There's people there that are now in AEW.
And then what they
Where
want to do.
how would you do that?
So apparently, somebody had made a great idea. So Rock is going to be a heel, right? He's going to stay a heel, but Roman, he's going to take some time off, but he comes back, he's going to be a face. And pretty much Solo is against Roman, Jimmy is against Roman. So Jimmy and Solo are pretty much on the side of, you know, Rock. And the thing is, Roman, he's going to have to be able to maybe try to rally up the troops or try to be something different to where he asks for forgiveness for what he's done to everybody in the past, like those like Jay, like Cody, like Sammy, like have a full circle moment, you know what I mean? And I think it plays out at Mania where the bloodline comes back together. Hear me out. But Rock is pinned by Roman. You have Jimmy come back, but he's a face. Solo is a face. Roman is a face. Jay comes back as a face. And here's the ultimate goal, right? At WrestleMania 41, you know what happens, Dylan? You know how they have the lay or whatever? Dylan is just like speechless, like what the hell
This
is
is
he's hearing?
absolute garbage.
Okay, so the ultimate end goal, you're probably gonna laugh at this because I did too. So you know how they have the lay on, and he kind
They
of
break
they
the
use
leg.
that. No, 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 no. He passes it down. He passes the responsibility of being tribal chief down to none other than main event Jey Uso. Now, main event Jey Uso takes over as the new leader of the bloodline. Now that is a face. Exactly. I laughed too.
No, see, the ending is cool,
Like where
but
where
the
Roman
build
passes
to
it
it is
down.
silly.
But you could do a War Games match between Team Rock and Team Roman, whoever's on those sides.
Right, but so so
I think whatever's gonna happen post Mania, I think it's going to ultimate end goal is to get Roman back to being a face. How better way to do it than his own family screwing him over, and he takes time off, but he comes back with a different mindset, a different outlook. Yes, you can still have him be this whole head of the table type of gimmick, but kind of have it play more as more catered to the fans to where they want to cheer him instead of booing him. And I feel like the ultimate end goal is through ultimate because they've been saying it. They want I feel like Jey Uso is that guy that they want to have take over once Roman steps down. And what better way than Roman doing that to close night one? Roman is still in the bloodline, but he's passed over doing the tribal chief thing to now be Jey Uso to take that mantle.
But
I feel like I don't know. Rock he could do. I don't know if he's gonna do it. Um, we could see him do some things. I don't know. We've seen Rock wrestle at Royal Rumble. We've seen him do some other stuff. So I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility if you were to do a Survivor Series. I would not count that out. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Now automatically, do we automatically get him a face when he loses at Mania? No. When he comes back, he's still gonna have the same thing. He's gonna get one more match with Cody, probably at SummerSlam. No. Scratch that. I'm tripping. So what I think is gonna happen, I really feel like this is what might happen. I feel like if Rock is gonna be a heel, and Roman gets taken out, where did a couple of years ago, Dylan? I'm gonna throw this question to you. Where did Roman Reigns return a couple of years ago?
where did he return?
A couple of years ago when he took a sabbatical due to the pandemic. Which pay-per-view did he return at?
Was
It
it the
wasn't a
Saudi
B
show?
level. It wasn't a Saudi. It was not a B level or Saudi show.
Survivor Series?
Nope.
Was it SummerSlam?
He returned at SummerSlam. I feel like if he gets taken out by The Rock, I think
Yeah, but that's only what? May, June, July. That's only 3 months.
3 months that he's not there because he's gonna get taken out by The Rock and company. Here's the thing. Here's what I think is gonna happen. I think Cody is going to finish the story. I think Cody is going to face Rock one-on-one at SummerSlam. Reason being, if night one ends the way I think is going to happen, where Rock pins Cody, Rock can say, I pinned you for that champion. I pinned you. So now I'm going to pin you again for that championship. And they're going to have their match. But who comes down? Who
We're going to
comes
have
back
Cody versus The Rock at
SummerSlam?
SummerSlam this year.
And Roman comes back to kick off the Rock and Roman feud from SummerSlam throughout the rest of the year, going into Mania.
Yeah, SummerSlam's in Ohio, Henry.
Because I feel like if they're gonna do that, I feel like it's gonna happen. If Rock is gonna pin Cody, it makes all the sense in the world if he does win the championship. You can't tell me if Rock pins Cody on night one and Cody goes on to finish the story and win the championship on night two. At some point down the line, if Rock comes back, he's not gonna say, I beat you, I pinned you on night one.
So wait,
he's
all right, hold
automatically
on.
be in line. Okay, let me break it down for you. I'll kind of
No. No more talking. Because Tino, what's going on? I'm. You're gonna have to live Morgan me and watch me, all right? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. So you're telling me that
if I'll break it down.
So you're telling me night one, Cody loses, The Rock pins Cody. Night two, Cody beats Roman. That's that. Then Roman leaves for 3 months to return at SummerSlam during or after the Rock and Cody match to have then the new feud of Rock versus Cody, Rock versus Roman, or kick off. Okay, so then, the starting point of Rock versus Roman kicking off going into Survivor Series, which is now the babyface turn of Roman Reigns. We're at Survivor Series with the team of possibly Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso,
and
Sami Zayn, and one other versus The Rock.
It could be 4-4.
Okay, so Roman, Sami, Jey, Cody, Rock, Solo, Jimmy,
and Tama Tonga.
To then having The Rock lose again at Survivor
No,
Series
no, 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 no,
to
no. He's not losing at Survivor Series. Rock is going to win at Survivor Series.
Rock wins at Survivor Series,
His team wins.
and that's then continues the story going into WrestleMania 41, which then either on night 1 or night 2 to close out the show, Roman gives the lays, which is the tribal chief pecking order, to none
To
other
Jay
than Jey Uso.
after Roman beats Rock 1-on-1. There's different twists and turns because, like I said, he's gonna
It
get
could
attacked.
work.
It could.
It could work, but I just don't know. I don't know if the selling of Roman being a babyface is going to do it.
I
Is my
mean,
concern.
he's very relatable. I feel like, yeah, he was a heel.
But yeah, but how much relatable?
I feel
Honestly,
like
like
people,
Roman
people,
Reigns is a
like
guy
you
who
said,
doesn't wrestle, who is a
but
celebrity,
but think
who
about it. If he's gonna, be going on a more part-time basis, this could be a way to get this last big feud out of him before he kind of goes on a much lighter schedule, and also get this last big feud, money feud out of him, and then also pretty much passing down the lay and the tribal chief to the next best thing outside of Roman being Jey
I
Uso.
don't know. This seems like a hard sell. The concept is cool. The concept of it is cool and interesting of how we could have Jay become the new tribal chief. But where does that leave Solo in this whole thing? Where does
Solo
that
will
leave
still be.
Jimmy in this whole thing?
So here's the
Where does
thing.
that put Tamatanga in this whole thing? How does Sami Zayn get involved? Like where
Okay.
my question then
All
is
right.
if at WrestleMania 40 those things happen, Cody becomes champ, SummerSlam comes, it's Rock versus Cody, Roman shows up. From SummerSlam to WrestleMania 41, where in that whole entire gap is all of these people
Gonna
placed?
start. Okay. Let me get to it. Okay. So after SummerSlam, right? We're gonna start a slow build going into Survivor Series because you're not at this point of SummerSlam. You have Tonga, all these guys on the side of Rock already. Roman is by himself. Cody called it. You're gonna be a tribe, a chief without anybody. And at this point, he's all alone. And he's backed into a corner because he doesn't know what he's gonna have to do if he's gonna go up against him. So what he does, he comes to the conclusion that he needs to go to some people and ask for forgiveness for what he has done to them in the last couple of years. Because he is, like you said, he's upset a lot of people the last couple of years. One of them being Sami Zayn. He apologizes for manipulating him and all that. He also goes to Jey Uso, apologizes for manipulating him as a family member. He goes to Cody, apologizes for all the stuff that he put him through, that stuff that he has said about him, for costing him all these matches and costing all three of these different matches. He tries to go. The story is him asking for forgiveness. Will the people that he has wronged choose to forgive him? That is the story that you're setting up as he goes into Survivor Series. Those that he has wronged, will they forgive him or not? Will he actually get somebody that will actually be willing to forgive him for what he has done since he has returned and became this tribal chief type of gimmick?
You're telling me this guy, this
Not that
man,
guy. Not the one with the
Roman
bulletproof vest.
Reigns,
That we ain't
the
talking about the big
ramen
dog.
noodle belt champion, is going to turn into this guy, Dipset Cody, the people's fan, the people's champ, the guy that everybody wants to party with on the weekends, the guy that makes the phone calls.
We never know. I really think this would be a great long-term build. I think this would be a great way to have a lot of different twists and turns. And Santo maybe made a great thing there. I think don't forget about the Rumble. You could still have something to do there. Um, I feel like there's still an opportunity, like
That's
you
not
said.
nice, Henry said. He's the
I
ramen
mean,
champion.
I
Ramen
mean,
Reigns, Rachel Reigns, Tribal Queef, ramen
because like,
champion. He's the
so you
guy.
can't, because okay, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I like to ask these questions. I know you said this is the concept is cool, him passing on, laying all this good stuff. My question to you, give me a sec, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So as we wait for Leo to come back, I don't know. To me, I like the fact of the handing down of the beads to Jay, but I feel like we're so past that now that at this stage of the game, that happening won't hold as much significance as it could have been held months prior. I feel like where we're at now with this story, Roman becoming solo dolo on his island of now irrelevancy, if all of these things happen, I feel like at that stage, it's time to just go. It's time to just go
So
back.
my question to you is, I know we talk about the lay idea. My question to you is, do you think it would be a decent enough story to at least be able to digest as a wrestling fan, or at least be able to
No,
tolerate
the idea is
having?
great.
No, I'm talking about
Yeah,
like
but
post,
my
like
thing to you,
SummerSlam.
my rebuttal to you is why didn't
How
this
do
happen earlier? Because at this stage
because
of the game, the meaning of the lay now, having it being passed on to Jay now after all of this, mind you, Jay's been a loser.
yeah, but here's the thing.
Like Jay
He's
has
gonna
been
beat
a
Jimmy.
loser throughout all of this. He's been a tag
He's
team champion twice, lost it. He's been in both United States and Continental Championship
and world
opportunities
and
and
undisputed.
undisputed and lost it.
And he
Lost
but
it.
and then he was the Iron Man in the Royal Rumble this past year too.
Right. But he was still the loser of it. He hasn't had anything happen. The only
Because
thing big that's happening to him right now is the possibility of a win against his brother at
but that
WrestleMania
could catapult him.
40,
But I feel like that could catapult him
which I
possibly.
don't even want him to win that because it's not that he don't deserve the win. It's just Jimmy's been doing absolute, oh
Yeah, he
God,
hasn't really been doing anything.
Jimmy's been
My
the
thing,
biggest loser of them all.
yeah,
Jimmy
he's just
literally
that.
left the bloodline and then begged to come back. Now he's back, and now everybody's pointing at him in the cafeteria, going, "Ha ha, you're the loser." And everybody, and he's just going there. Yes, I am. Like there's nothing. There's
I really
nothing
feel like,
for Jimmy.
because let's be honest, by the end of this year, like, you, no matter you put it, he's gonna be a singles champion. By the end, that's his big goal, is winning a singles title this year, which I think is gonna
Right,
happen.
but
But
when?
my question to you is, do you think it would be, if we're focused solely on Roman, right? For his story post SummerSlam, after he comes back and costs The Rock the title, right? Do you think this would be a decent enough story for you to see? Is having that story where Roman is trying to have for ask for forgiveness for those he has wronged in the last
It's
couple
too
years.
late. That story's been told so much
But you got to think about it
that
like
there's
this. For the
nothing
most part,
there's no point. You get
I
what I'm
mean, I
saying?
get it.
Like I feel like if Cody beats Roman at 40, right? And we're gonna have to get off this topic because I want to talk about, of course, the belts that just got released for WrestleMania season that just was released on Twitter, and then we're gonna end the show and whatnot. But listen, I'll say this, and this is gonna be my final say on it. And then if you need to say anything else, you're more than welcome to. But I'll say this: look, we're at a stage now where Roman has been on a 3-year tyranny. A
Hmm.
tyranny. He has beaten the locker room not once, not twice, 3 times over. Few of them have left the company to go over to AEW. A few of them don't even wrestle against him anymore. A bunch of them don't even want to try to wrestle against him. And the
Or a
people
lot
that
of them haven't been
have
built
wrestled
up,
against him have lost.
and some haven't
Have
even been built
lost.
up. A
And
lot of them haven't
and
even
there's been
been
no
built up
feuds. There's been
because
no
a lot of
feuds, there's
them.
no builds, there's no nothing.
Because I said this
So
before.
on top of all of that, you now have the biggest story of them all, Cody and Roman. You add The Rock into the mix. That doesn't really elevate the story for some people. It really is just adding more fuel to a fire that we're trying to just put out so that way we could go on to the
Mhm.
next big exciting thing.
I
And
mean,
at this
I
stage,
get what you're
at
saying.
the stage, at the stage of this game, we're at a point where now, if Roman loses, he's going to go on this "Forgive Me" tour. Doesn't make any sense. It's not Roman now to do that. He's been sitting on this island by himself, whether he's realized it or not, for 2 years. He's
Because you got to
literally
think about it.
played Jay,
But you got to think
Jimmy,
about
and
this whole.
Solo throughout this whole reign.
I mean, yeah, but you got to think about it like this, and I want to throw this in here. For the most part of this whole story, bloodline story, who's been in charge of the oversee of the story? Not Triple H. Triple H barely got his hands on it. It's literally since like last year, probably post Mania, because you got to still think, even when he kind of started taking things over just a little bit, Vince was still kind of in the weeds pulling strings. So really, we really never got Triple H booking fully until like late last year because of everything that came out. So now we really see what Triple H can do now that he's the one solely
But it's been
overseeing the
boring.
story. And I do. That's why I feel like the championship needs to leave. I don't I get what you're saying, Dylan, and I totally agree with you with everything you're saying. I just feel like this could be a different story because I
It
mean,
could be, but the only
why
problem
not
with
go with the logical? We
the
know.
only problem with your story is that if you take a man who has been on an FU attitude for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Which we've seen before happen with many great superstars, men and
Mhm.
women. Take them, go,
Gotta
by the
change of
way,
heart.
you're going to get absolutely bent over fucked. Now we're going to turn you around and have the crowd cheer for you.
Yeah,
It
now
doesn't
when you say it
make
like that.
sense.
When you say it like that, I get it. My thing is this, like, if you have The Rock turn on Roman, that's so predictable, that's logical. I want to see them kind of do something that people wouldn't expect. People would already, if Dylan, me and you, we already know. If we're watching this match, do we or do we not think that more than likely Rock is going to be the one to cause Roman the match? We already know that.
Yeah.
We already know that if they do this feud, 9 out of 10, people are already thinking Rock is going to be the one that's the face and Roman's going to be the one that's the heel. Why not do something that people wouldn't expect? People wouldn't expect Rock being the one to stay a heel and Roman being the one to end up being a face. That's something people wouldn't expect. Expect the unexpected is when a lot of these storylines being developed, especially post Mania, because they're gonna want to build matches for maybe next year's WrestleMania. So that's why I feel like me personally. I think that might be the better feud if they wanted to do that on a long term. If you want to pass, have him go through all these different stories and objects and obstacles that he's gonna have to overcome, and then ultimately get to that end goal where he does beat The Rock, and then not only he's validated as the tribal chief, but he doesn't want that anymore because now he's taken a time. He's went through all this and he's realized a lot of stuff. He's seeing the bigger picture to where now he wants to see his family succeed. He wants his family together, doing things for the right way, and he signifies that by passing the lay down, passing being head of the table down, being the tribal chief down, and the leader of their family to somebody who stepped away from the bloodline, and
Give it to
even though
Cody.
he ain't part of the family.
If Roman loses to Cody, give it to Cody.
Have him beat Jay. Put it on Jay. Because why? It started with Jay. Why
Right.
not have this whole saga end with Jay? And that's something I've been saying over and over in my head, no matter how
Right.
times I try to spin it. If this started with Jay, when he started the tribal chief gimmick, Jay was the
Yeah.
first one that he recruited to be part of that. He stuck through with all this, and he got enough. He had his own family
Yeah.
member leave him, and now that
Look,
he's
I
back with him, and he
mhm.
rewards that, he lets him take over, and he apologizes for that. And Roman, the last word that you hear, the last phrase you hear as WrestleMania 41 goes off the air, he says, "Jay, I acknowledge you." It started with Jay. Why not?
It's like
Why not have
it's
it?
like a piece of Swiss cheese. There's so many holes that you could there's so many holes in this fucking story that just are like, oh my god, I don't know what to do with them. But look, I don't want to talk about it too much longer, only because we could make it a whole we could literally make a whole podcast episode just about the Roman and Cody and Bloodline story alone.
Yeah,
Literally, we've spent about 30-ish minutes just talking about them alone,
right.
and there's a whole lot of other great matches that are happening. But look, we're gonna start getting closer to the end of the show, and I really appreciate everybody hanging around and sticking with us for the whole entire thing. We apologize that the Roman unfortunately has taken up majority of, but hey, we've done more work talking about Roman than Roman's actually wrestled throughout his 3 years. So at
Facts.
least there's something. At least there's something. You know what I mean? But let's go into something that was really fun that we get to, and then of course I want you to end the show with all the fun moments that you had at your show last night on Monday Night Raw. But this was just released today. Of course, the WrestleMania limited edition era title belts. You have the golden era with that beautiful purple, the Bret Hart colors and stuff, which is really cool. The
Hmm.
Attitude Era belts, the Ruthless Aggression, John Cena Pro Era, PG Era belts, and of course the modern era. That's all of that now. Spinner titles as well as world heavyweight titles. Like this is kind of how these new belts, signature series belts, are going to be getting sold. So, of course, we here at Last Week of Wrestling Podcast have a promo code for you guys for those who want to go ahead and get yourself one of these things. There is a link down below in the description. And for all of you audio listeners out there that's listening to this podcast, thank you. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. But also, if you also want these belts, and go over to the YouTube channel to see which belts I'm talking about, go over and hit that link to the description of the what we call it, the discount for you guys. I believe it's like either 10 or 20 bucks off of the actual orders itself, 20% maybe. So definitely check that out and let us know how it all worked out for you, because I tell you now, it's definitely come in handy. I'm going to be using it myself when I start having a little bit more money and start doing a belt collection myself. I try to get close to that. My guy heel Mike, who has like 70 belts and counting.
I, I
He
I
he
gotta
he puts Kenny Omega in the fucking garbage when as a belt
I
collector.
gotta be more like
Absolutely.
Mike. I'm trying to be like Mike.
I'm trying to be like Mike. You know, now I get what everybody's saying, man. I'm trying to be like Mike. I now know what they mean by I'm trying to be like Mike. I'm trying to be like Mike
Exactly.
too, man. I'm trying to be like Mike too. You know what I mean? I really am. But guys, I want to say thank you guys so much for the pod and everything you guys have been doing for us over here and whatnot. Yeah, I'm ramen noodles broke to buy a title belt. Listen, man, me too, buddy. Me too. We're all gonna come to the top very soon. But nonetheless, Leo, talk to the good people about yesterday. Tell them where you got the seat. Tell them all the amazing things that happened. I know you said unfortunately you couldn't meet Liv because the line was just so damn long. There's
Yeah.
so many Liv
Um.
stands. You would
It
think
was crazy. Like
there was only
I got
you that would be
there.
a Liv stand, but no, there's like
No, I
70
wasn't
plus.
expecting it. Just but like literally, people. I think one of the people that was there, they camped out since 8 o'clock Sunday night.
That's crazy, dude.
That's dedication right there.
Dedicate. That's love.
Like people were getting there at 6 a.m. I got there like around 6 ish, 7 ish, and it was long. The line was long. It's not even funny. Um, I did have a great time at the show though. I got to interact with different fans that were there. Um, some we were sharing some wild stuff in the we were calling JD McDonough Lord Farquaad. We was like saying where's Dom? Uh, what's going on? I was very shocked that Liv got a lot of boos, but it kind of played up into her being a heel like me and Dylan has been saying for a while. I'm looking forward to see where that story progresses and seeing how they progress that story with a lot of the different things that happened on the show. Got to see that gauntlet match was definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. Becky and Liv, they tore the house down for their opening match. I like to see a lot of different stuff. We were going crazy hearing Jay Uso's music. We were all doing the wave. Pretty much there was nobody in that arena that was not doing the wave when Jay came out, and stuff like that. So that was a very cool moment for everybody that was there. Um, I think there was one fan that was there. They had a sign. I have to find the sign because I think I took a picture of it. They were showing some crazy signs. I think it was like Dominic sucks eggs or something. And I think I this girl. She had a sign that says, "I'm the only one and only JD McDonough fan." And I'm like, "Hey, yo,
Listen,
so we got a Lord
sometimes you
Farquaad
gotta,
fan here."
yeah. Listen, sometimes you just gotta rock it out and hope to God you don't get beat up. You know what I mean? So good. God bless her. God bless
Yeah.
her for coming in there and being the only one.
I was just talking to Dylan. You guys gonna for a lot of you fans, you guys gonna have to be patient. You'll probably
Oh
get a
yeah.
story time
Oh
very, very
yeah.
soon.
Oh
This is
yeah.
part of my punishment right here. I have to wear the Becky Lynch "Welcome to the Big Time" shirt, and I have the shorts on as well. So that's part of my punishment for
Guys,
losing.
listen. I'm gonna just spoil it. I ain't gonna hold it.
No, no,
I
no,
ain't gonna
no,
hold nobody
no,
to it.
no. Hey, tease them. You gotta tease them, bro. You gotta tease them
Listen,
a little bit.
if the next part of his punishment comes in by next Monday for the Raw watch along, and all you audio fans who've been loving the channel, I tell you all right now, please make sure you hit me on Twitter, on Instagram, and ask me, did it come in? Did it come in? Did it come in? Did the second part of his
Because
punishment come in? Because
the
I
reason
tell you
being
now,
The reason being is me and one of my friends, we were like, or one of my friends that were there, we were just chatting it up, and it was a bet. Like, he
oh,
was
you're gonna tell
going.
him?
No, I'm just gonna give him a little backstory of what happened. But this was during the Becky match. Um, Becky was won the match.
Oh,
The
can I tell it? Can I tell it? Can I tell it? Can I please tell it? Can I please tell it?
chat. You guys want to hear it or not?
Do you want me to say it or do you want Leo to
No,
say it? Because
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 it has to.
it's such a
It's
good
affecting me.
story.
It's affecting me, so
It's
I'm gonna
affecting
have to
him
go and tell
so
it.
much. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna
Chat.
just say it. I'm gonna just
No,
say
I'm
it.
gonna
So
tell you.
listen,
I gotta do it. I'm the one that's gotta wear it.
I know, but that's more than enough, dude. The fact that you have to do this is gonna be great. It's gonna be great content.
So
It's gonna be great content.
apparently, since I lost the bet, I had to order the Liv Morgan choker, and I have to wear that choker on every stream until she wins a championship. Liv Morgan wins a championship.
That's right, baby. This motherfucker here is gonna have to wear a Liv Morgan choker until she wins a championship in 2077, bro. I am so excited for this. We are so excited. Guys, when he called me and told me, so him, his awesome father, and this
His
gentleman that he
My
saw
own
at
dad picked Becky
this,
Lynch. That's crazy.
and this guy that they met at the show all were having fun and they placed the bet. The guy said, if Becky wins, you have to wear the Liv Morgan choker until she wins a title. Okay? And his father bet against his own son, which is even better. It makes it so much better of a damn story. All right. So, on top of all of that, now poor Leo, let's get Leo on the big screen. There he is. Now, poor Leo not only has to rock Liv Morgan merch, which I know he loves doing that,
I
but
like Liv Morgan. I'm a Liv
also
Morgan fan,
has to
but
wear
not
a
that much.
choker, has to wear a choker until she wins a title. Guys, I pray to God that choker comes in by next Monday.
It
I
should be.
want to see it on him. Oh, dude, guys, I'm dying.
It
I'm
doesn't matter if
dying.
I'm
I
on
almost
stream
crashed
or
my car when he was telling me.
it doesn't matter if I'm on stream or doing my regular videos. I have to wear it until she wins a championship. It doesn't matter if it's WWE or AEW or TNA. I gotta wear it nonstop until she wins it. Until she wins a title.
It's gonna be a long time for you.
Oh
WrestleMania is the
Lord.
first stop. I hope she wins one by then. I hope she wins
Oh
something by
Lord.
then. But guys, Leo's gonna finally come out of that kinky side. He's gonna
Hey!
let people know how kinky he really is. You know what I mean?
No!
How cheeky he really is for all of my fellow people across the pond. I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be so exciting. What about a tag title? A title, women's heavyweight, the one from EO, or
Well,
a title.
actually, tag titles is excluded. It has to be singles.
So it has to. Okay, so it's a singles only title.
Tag titles don't count.
Oh my god, dude, he fucked you. He fucked you good. He fucked you good. He knew. He knew.
Because he
He knew.
asked me, he says,
Order
"You're a Liv
5 of
Morgan fan."
them. It's going to be a while. I love it, Steven.
It's no. Here's the thing. It's three of
It's a
them that come in a
3-pack.
pack. It's a 3-pack. So 3 of them come in 1 pack.
So you get to change the chokers every single week?
If I wanted to, but I'm not changing
Yes.
it.
Change them every Friday and Monday when we do watch-alongs. Absolutely. Dude, that'd be great. I told him, I said, listen, now you got your Halloween costume. All you need is a blonde wig.
Eric, I didn't get to meet Liv, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I
Oh
took
my
4
God.
L's. So I took 4 L's. I didn't get to meet Liv. She lost the match. Now I have to wear a choker until she wins a title. And then my dad picks Becky Lynch. He says Becky Lynch. He says, look at Liv. What does she have on Becky? Like that.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. I hope WWE brings that 24/7 title back. Me too, guys. Me too, Henry. Me too, dude. Guys, I'm dead. I think this was the greatest news I heard today. When Leo told me this news, he goes, "Dylan, you're gonna get a kick out of this shit." And I go, "What is it?" I'm driving back, and he tells me the story. And I have tears coming down my face. I'm laughing so fucking hard. I almost crashed the fucking car. Like, I truly was dying. Now to know that there's a 3-pack of 3 different chokers for Liv Morgan and you have to go through them. Streaming with you is just going to get so much better, dude. So much better.
And on Monday,
And you got to wear them for AEW. And you got to wear them for TN. Oh, my God. Dude.
And here's another thing.
That's
on
awesome.
Monday, not only do I have to wear the choker, but I also have to wear the Cry About It shirt.
Whoever this person is that made you do this bet, I hope you're subscribed to this channel. And I hope you subscribe to Leo as well. Because he needs to make sure you stick to it on these live streams each and every week.
He even went far as it doesn't matter if I'm in public. I can go talk to a girl if I wanted to, and I have to wear that. Oh Lord. God.
Hey, listen, sometimes getting freaky deaky is some people's cup of tea, So
I'm a Liv Morgan fan, but come on, man.
no, you're a Liv Morgan stan.
Not like that. Oh Lord, people are gonna be
But
talking about this.
Listen, I love you, Leo. This is absolutely a great story. I'm so happy we got to end this night on a funny night.
Yeah.
For all you audio listeners, please come by and check out the video version because, of course, we showed some awesome pictures of all those amazing WrestleMania signature series titles that you definitely need to go check out. So make sure you go ahead and do that immediately when you get a chance, as well as to all these amazing people here in our chat tonight. The Stephen Chambers of the world, the C. Henrys, the Santoses, the Chris's of the world, the Tinos of the world, Anthony, of course, Tim, Wolf. Let's see.
Wait till tomorrow. I can't.
Eric.
I'm in for it.
Oh God, you're so in
Wait
for
till
it,
Byron
dude.
finds out about this.
Lord, when Byron finds out about this shit tomorrow, he's gonna be dying.
Lord.
Dying. I am too. Santos, good night. That is going to do it for us here too, as well. Leo, I'm going to let you have the floor, buddy. What do you got to say to the good people besides that you're going to start wearing that freaky deaky shit? And
Um,
what else you got going on for your
I'm
channel?
still doing a giveaway at the end of this
Okay.
year. If you guys can get me to 10K, I will be doing a giveaway where one of you lucky fans will have the opportunity to win a championship belt from WWE Shop. So if you guys want to have an opportunity to add a belt to your collection or start your own collection, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Get me to 10K, and one of you lucky fans will have the opportunity to win the championship. But I got some other videos coming this week. 2K videos coming this week. Probably do some challenges. I know we're probably going to be doing some things on Dylan's channel as we talk about AEW. That's going to be a big thing tomorrow. TNA, SmackDown, Rampage. So definitely looking forward to that as well. And Monday is the big day, so to speak, for a lot of people. I'm already preparing myself for the worst. I'm already preparing myself. Somebody's gonna make a meme that says when being a Liv Morgan fan takes a wrong turn.
I can't wait. I'm so
Or
excited for
I could
you.
see somebody now making a meme that says when a girl asks you, are you kinky? Or do you have a kinky side? And you have the picture of me with the choker on. And I say no.
I'll tell you my dirty little secret. You know what I mean? Oh, man, it's going to be great. But of course, we have none other than the Big Business Show tomorrow night right here on the greatest podcast out of Long Island. That is a fact, as MJF states it every single week to TK. And we here are going to be doing another watch along for Dynamite, as well as TNA. That's right. This Thursday, we're coming back, baby, for TNA. Watch-alongs are coming back until further notice or until we get another interview from an awesome up-and-coming superstar. So definitely make sure you tune into that. Saturday is, of course, Collision Day. This Friday is going to be SmackDown. Unfortunately, we are going to be cutting Rampage from our shows each and every week with the new job and everything. I have to wake up quite early, so 10 o'clock is kind of where I need to have the cutoff time for certain things. Pay-per-view wise, not so much because it's only like 3 days a week. I get like a delivery and I need to make sure I'm like ready and prepared for those type of days. But
Right.
because those days are going to be longer, especially in the summertime out here in the beautiful Long Island area. So thank you all for coming on. Thank you all for hanging out with us. And of course, thank you, Leo, for those amazing stories that you told us. Also, shout out to Ramen Reigns, the ramen champion of the world, and Dipset Cody's dropping some hot fire bars probably this weekend over on Friday Night SmackDown. So make sure you tune in for all of that good stuff. Also, make sure you check out those WrestleMania Edition limited time signature series titles as well. And of course, you could use our code over here, Last Week of Wrestling Podcast, our link to get you guys some money saved off on that. For all you audio listeners, thank you guys so much. We're at 31 followers over on Spotify. Give us a round of applause for that. That is awesome. And of course, we're going to try to hit 50 as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania. So of course, if you are a subscriber over on Spotify, thank you. If not, what are you waiting for? Go over, hit that follow button over there. Last Week in Wrestling Podcast, same logo, same everything. So that definitely helps us out over there as we inch closer and closer to 50. We appreciate that. And of course, keep playing our videos. Keep liking them. Keep sharing. Keep commenting. Last month, we did crazy numbers. I think it was a total of 144 live streams in 1 month and over 5,000 shares, which is insane. Insane. Absolutely insane. I appreciate you guys so much for all of that. Watch time, it was ridiculous. It's all because of you guys, and pat yourselves on the back because we only make the content. You guys keep pushing the content, and I love you for that. I really do. I really mean that. So thank you all for all of that awesomeness. What's going on, Sammy? How are you? But that is it for us today here. We are going to end it. Leo, I will see you tomorrow for Big Business, AEW, Big B, and a whole bunch of others. And that is it. Have a great night, guys, and we'll see you then.
Start to feel like I'm dreaming, man, should have seen that look on my face. But I'm so low-key, I'm an anonymous G that I left no trace. But when I step one feel like king of the hill when they never gonna